Okay. Hello, how's everybody? Okay. So, um, this is basically going through a Bible study on Jacob and Esau, the situation, and the selling of birthright for lentil stew. So, Genesis chapter 5, we're going to start at the 29th verse. Okay? And Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die. What profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, Swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Okay? Now, the thing is, as Christians, we live in this world that is, you know, full of full of temptations and pressure at times, and we have to learn to trust God in those times, because we cannot be like Esau, because times are tough, that we cave in, or we give in to idol worship of whether it's be food or material gain. All right. And let's look at the fact of food, because we are going to be in a time, where it is going to be, it's going to be a time where we cannot buy or sell without the mark of the beast. Okay. It's going to get to that point. Okay. And people are going, and sadly, people are going to cave in. All right, they're going to cave in. They're going to take that mark. All right. The sad thing is that you already have pastors and preachers trying to say, if you take the mark, that it's okay with God, you can still go to heaven, when the Bible says completely the opposite. That if you take the mark, you will be damned. Okay? Unfortunately, you're going to have preachers that are going to say that, pastors that are going to say that. Okay? And it's sad. But that's how it's going to be, because we're living in a time that the truth is not really preached about the end times. People are being taught that, we're going to be caught up in the air, we're going to be raptured before the tribulation comes, and that's a lie. That is a lie. Okay. All right, we're still going to be here for the tribulation, and people are going to cave in. They're going to fall away from the faith because pastors have lied. All right, and let me just read you this part from Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he caused both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive the mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save that he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay. So you're not going to be able to buy or to sell. And a lot of people are going to fall away, and they're going to be like, you know what? My kid is crying. My God's going to say, I'm going to go get me that mark. No, God is not going to understand. He's not going to understand, because God has already laid it out in his word. Okay? You could even put this to the fact of the as even as small as the fact of, it's not small, I'm sorry, it's not even small. Okay, let's take the fact of divorce and remarriage, right? People, a lot of people have a hard time hearing the fact that if they divorce, all right, that they can't remarry again, all right? Or the fact that if they've divorced and remarried and their first spouse is still alive, that they have to leave their spouse, go through the painful part of divorcing somebody that they really wanted, but it's adultery in God's eyes. They're going to have to separate from those kids that they have married, and they're going to have to live holy and be celibate, or return to the first covenant spouse if it's possible. And a lot of people will give in to these pastors who will say that it's okay to be in a marriage that God has called adulterous. Okay? People are going to give in to that. And that, in a way, is taking the mark of the beast, because you refuse to listen to what's being told. And they say God's going to understand. No, God is not going to understand. God is not going to understand you. God is very much going to send you to hell if you die in that sin, just like he will send you to hell for taking the mark of the beast. Because after you take that mark of the beast, you're going straight to hell. You're damned because you sold your birthright for a piece of lentil stew. You sold out holiness, your hope, your peace in heaven, being with Jesus, for a lentil stew, being able to buy, being able to sell, being able to live on this earth. The same thing with marriage, divorce and remarriage. Okay, you sold out on being holiness. You sold that out for having a little comfort, okay, on this earth, being with somebody that God has forbidden you to be with. Okay, because it goes against the marriage covenant. You're doing this because you wanted to have somebody in your home instead of being in a cold. It is better you know what it says in the book of Proverbs? It is better to have a morsel of bread and be poor than to be and eat in a banquet and have strife. Okay? And there's strife coming for people, when we choose to go against God, when we choose to go against his word, sell our birthright for a piece of lentil stew, a piece of sin. Okay? And that's basically what it is when it comes to selling your birthright for a piece of lentil stew. Okay? And that's what happened to Esau, because he valued bread and food more than his birthright. And a lot of us, we value material things than the Lord. But we have a choice to make. We have a big choice to make, because if we don't make the right choice, we're going to wake up in hell. That's all I got to say. Peace and God bless.